This was my second attack. The first one was in March. I saw death with my eyes. It started like a flu. It was a heavy flu. In fact, I was like, hey, this thing, I've never felt like this before. So then after 2 days or so, I started feeling body aches, the broken joints. You feel like your gas is just going down, feeling dizziness and all that stuff. So for 1.5 weeks, I went about my duties as usual in the office, working, reporting to work, thinking that it's just a normal flu or normal cold. And I could go to dispensing chemists. I tell them, hey, I have a flu. So I'm given these lozenges, some antibiotics, and these guys, yeah. So after 1.5 weeks, I decided, it was a Friday, I had reported to work. Then around midday, I felt like, no, now this thing is wearing me down. I felt like the body was just in pain everywhere, all over the body. I couldn't even walk, So I told my colleague, we work in the same department, it's called Felix. I told him, hey, fellow, can you drive me to Aga Khan? I went to Aga Khan at the Prestige Plaza. When I reached there, the doctor said tests should be run. So they ran tests. After 1.5 hours, all the tests were negative. They ruled out everything. But the doctor said, Philip, now that everything is negative, there's only one test that I want to recommend you for, and you have to go for it. I asked her, which one? She said, COVID. It's like, okay, I'll go for it. They took the sample. Then I was told, within 24 hours, we'll give you the result. True to their word, I received the results at night. It was positive. Then I said, oh, not again. But now I decided, okay, maybe let me do like I did last time, home-based care. So we started doing these concoctions, hot water, lemon, ginger, honey. But there was nothing, there was no improvement. Day one, that was Saturday. Sunday, I'm just restless. And all that time, my body was resistant to water. I could not take a shower. Every time I went to the bathroom, I lost the gas. I felt like I was going to die the next minute. The third day, that was a Tuesday, 4th. Actually, I'd called my sister from the village, my elder sister. She's called Naomi. I told her, now, those mitishambas kwa forest, the barks of trees, can you bring me? I want to start steaming. So she traveled all the way from the village. She came. They were boiling those things, making them hot. Then they tell me, hey, I go najifunika to steam. After every 2 minutes, I feel like I'm losing the breath now. I can't breathe anymore. Then I just said, no, I can't do this anymore. I decided to call the doctor at Aga Khan Prestige. She told me, come. This thing is wearing you down. Just come. I went. And by that time, my whole body was in pain. I was coughing endlessly. So they put me on the drip for some painkillers, about 3 pints. The body cooled down, but I continued to cough. And during that time, they kept on calling hospitals. All hospitals that you can mention, there were no beds. So a friend of mine called Silas Rabak, he found these guys calling hospitals. Nairobi South Hospital, Nairobi West, there was nothing. So he said, I have a friend, doctor, who is at Kenyatta University referral. Can I call? I said, yeah. So he found a bed through that doctor friend of his. He arrived at the facility. They were waiting for us. We went to the whatever it's called, the COVID area. the COVID section, I found the nurses waiting for me. After some time, I started feeling dizziness, So this guy, one of the nurses shouted from the background, "Hey, Lieutenant, oxygen, you are nakufa." That's when I knew things are bad. So they bought me the oxygen mask. Then they took me to the ward. They plugged it on the wall, and put it up. It was about 15 liters of oxygen. Then at least some life came back, you see. So one thing I want to say about Kenyatta University Hospital, I think the main idea of that hospital has not been executed well, because that hospital has people who are reluctant, doctors are reluctant, they report to work at midday. In the morning, you're supposed to wake up around 9 or 10, you see a doctor coming to your bed to check on you, because nurses cannot give you medication without the doctor giving them instruction. So I was there for 3 days. The only thing I was on was the oxygen. My whole body was still paining. There was no single painkiller, nothing. I had to call the office with that pain, and my colleagues and family started looking for a bed elsewhere. Luckily, we found a bed at MP Shah. And I want to say MP Shah really, really worked on me. And I am here because of God and the doctors and nurses at the MP Shah. So I went for a CT scan. After that, I was told my lungs had been damaged, the oxygen level at 45. In fact, at Kenyatta University, when I arrived, the oxygen level was still at 45. So it maintained that level. Anytime they removed the mask, the oxygen mask, it dropped below 50. So I was in a critical condition. The lungs had been damaged, but not so badly. So the doctor came and told me, now, when you were in there was a general ward for 3 patients. We were 3. She told me, Dr. Shamsa Ahmed, she told me, you have COVID pneumonia. This thing has attacked you. It's severe. So we need to deal with that. And they started dealing with me in a very special way, because I remember so well, I could not even walk. So they gave me a mobile toilet somewhere there. I can't go into details. Then they put a chip on this finger that was connected to monitors, so that they can monitor the oxygen levels anytime. So anytime they go down, nurses could come and try to help. So I was a critical patient in the isolation ward. So I was there for about 4 days. I remember the day we arrived, there's an old man who was also transferred from HDU to that ward. So we were 3. The old man was very good. He used to, although he was in pain all the time, and all the time the nurses and doctors were giving him attention. I remember so well, on Sunday morning, every morning at 4, doctors, the laboratory technicians could come and take blood samples every 4 a.m. So they came, as usual, on Sunday morning. They took the samples, and I remember the old man speaking, saying, "Oh, mechukua damu." That's the last I heard from him. Unfortunately, the old man died. It really traumatized me, because I could see him go. But I said, I'll fight on. I will fight for my life. When I was going to the ICU, I was like, oh my goodness, how are my children going to be if I die today? How is my family going to live if I die today? Now, the things that I have, such kind of things come. That is what kills people. The more you think, the more you go into depression, and that depression overwhelms you, and you go. When I left the ICU after 5 days, 2 days later, a nurse came to me and told me, Philip, you are improving, you are doing very well. Where you are, thank God for what he has done to you. 4 of the people you are with in the ICU are no more. I was shocked, but I said, I will fight and I'll leave this hospital alive. I did fight for myself. Prayers. One thing that really encouraged me, because I remember before I went to the ICU, my boss, Honorable Raila Odinga, rang me and he told me, I know what you are feeling, I've been there. Fight for your life. It's about your health. Don't think, because if you think, it will wear you down and it will affect your lungs. Fight. I missed the sun, I missed walking out, and I continued to grow thin and thin. Every time I was on medication, heavy medication, can you imagine steroids just to energize me? My hand was busy. The channel, we had so many activities, you find like several pints, this is I don't know, painkiller, this is what, I don't know what, this is for pneumonia. I saw death with my eyes. I will not want to go back there. It was a tough battle. It's something that nobody should ever think of experiencing. It's a bad experience and people should avoid COVID like plague.